Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker Tools. Today we're finally going to be talking about the new generation of the Bosch 18 volt Flexiclick. So let's go ahead and get into that on Tinker with Tools. Now, ever since I tested the refreshed compact hammer drill that Bosch released in the middle of last year, I have been excited to test the second generation of the Bosch Flexiclick. That new compact hammer drill really impressed me with the refinements and the power improvements that Bosch was able to make, all while making the tool smaller and more compact. And since the drill shared basically the same motor with the second generation of the 18 volt Flexiclick, that would mean that a tool that I already really liked was only going to be getting better. So then after loving that original tool and loving the new compact hammer drill, why did it take me 7 months to buy the new tool? Well, simply put, when it comes down to it, it was all about the price. See, they don't sell this as a bare tool in the North American market, so you have to purchase the full kit, including all the different chucks, 2 batteries, and a charger. And so because of that, I held off until I saw a promotion where I could get $50 off, and that's what kind of finally tipped me over the edge and caused me to buy this tool. So today I want to go through the new drill, talk about what's going to be the same as the older model, talk about what's going to be different, and then put it through a whole slate of performance testing so you can better understand if this is a tool you need to own or if it's something you can pass on. All right, so then at the heart of this, what exactly is the Flexiclick system? Well, simply put, the Flexiclick system is going to be a variety of different drill chucks or attachments that you can put onto this drill base that are going to make it more versatile. Right out of the box, you have a 1/4-inch hex collet that, although it's not quick insert, you can just go ahead and put any of your 1/4-inch hex bits in there, and it's going to operate like a drill, but it's going to have kind of more of the attachment method of an impact driver. Additionally, because it is going to be missing a lot of the drill part of it, it is going to be a little bit shorter. It's not quite as compact as an impact driver in this form, but it is shorter than most of the 18 volt drills that you're going to see out there. And so with that, you're going to be able to get into slightly tighter spaces. But the versatility comes when you start to get into the other attachments and chuck. Now this is going to be the 1/2-inch drill chuck attachment. This is going to be kind of your standard ratcheting chuck. Once you go ahead and click it on there, now it's just your standard traditional drill, capable of accepting up to 1/2-inch drill bits. But then you also have the offset attachment that is going to allow you to get up into some tighter spaces and right up flush against stuff where you're going to be able to get closer than you'd be able to be with the standard impact or drill unless you're angling that in. This, you can go ahead and drive it straight in. This part isn't going to spin or anything, so you're not going to mar up your surface, and you're just going to be able to put that bit in nice and tight to whatever you're going to be drilling with. And then the last of the standard included checks is going to be the right angle attachment, which it's really just like their standard drill, but now it's going to be at a right angle. So once you get it on there, you've just got a standard 1/2-inch drill chuck out here. That's one thing with this 18 volt model, you're getting the full 1/2-inch drill chuck capacity versus all those other ones that even like the Milwaukee and stuff, you're dealing with a 3/8-inch chuck. The real thing that separates Bosch, in my opinion, from all the other installation drill drivers, and this is true both on the 12 volt and the 18 volt, is going to be that they also sell an SDS Plus attachment for this Flexiclick system. Once I get that on there, yes, it does add a considerable amount of length, but now this is a hammer drill where previously it was only a drill driver. It is an additional cost, but if it proves to be more capable than hammer drills of comparable size, it might make this so it's an even more compelling option. So that's what's going to be the same about this compared to the old version. All of the things I just talked about are available on the old version. So then what is different and new about this new version? First and foremost, you are getting the new 800 model, which is going to come with, on paper, just a small increase of power. It's only about 30 inch-pounds higher, rated at 565 compared to the 535 here. But I will tell you, in practice, it does feel much more considerable than that, even to the fact that it almost feels like they've understated the performance of this drill, in my opinion, especially when you start comparing it to other tools in the market that are in that 500 inch-pounds range of torque. The next thing is you are going to be getting additional speed over the predecessor, the original Flexiclick. You're getting about a 10% increase in max RPMs, going from 1900 all the way up to 2100. You're also getting a little bit more speed down in speed 1. The other two items that are going to be substantially different is, although this one did have anti-kickback and you could turn it off, this one has gained the simple on-off switch that you're going to be getting on a lot of the different Bosch drills. It is the best in the tool landscape, in my opinion, at giving you the option to easily turn off the safety precautions so you can power through something if you need to. The other button down on the control panel is going to be the precision clutch, and that is going to be something that if you've used a lot of the higher end German drills, that's something that you've kind of started to see on a lot of them. It operates a lot like what you'd expect to see from Festool or German Metabo, where you're going to see, instead of it making that annoying clutch sound when it kind of cuts in and cuts out the power, this is simply going to turn off the tool. I know a lot of you are not fans of electronic clutch systems, but I can tell you the Festool, the Metabo, and this Bosch, both on the hammer drill and now on the Flexiclick, is one of the more consistent and easy to use clutch systems in my opinion. The good thing though, if you don't want that precision clutch on, you can turn it off and you can hear that annoying noise to your heart's content. All right, so then that takes us through everything that is going to be different about the tool. It is a little bit smaller, but I wouldn't call that the main selling point of this. It really is quite similar in size to the old version, just a little bit more compact. Now it's time to get to the performance testing and come back here and give you my conclusions from that testing. Now, because I've already tested the compact hammer drill, I was expecting to get a big performance boost going from this older Flexiclick into this new model. We saw a 20% performance improvement in the masonry drilling, saw 33% in the driving, 25% in the drilling. Just across the board, you did see improvements at every facet with this tool. That is what I expected to see. It really almost feels like more than just a generational improvement, where you're seeing, like I said, 20 to 30% improvements going from one model to the next. And given that they only state a very small increase in power, and other than that, just an increase in speed, they've really tuned this drill well, and I really just think it's a nice performing tool. Now, a few other notes about the performance. First off, I did go ahead and test the 800C, just the standard hammer drill, in the masonry testing as well, to kind of give you some context. On that smaller 1/4 inch bit, it really flew through those 2 concrete blocks. And I know that's not the hardest test in the world. It's not really hardened concrete, but it was simply better performant. But as soon as we moved up to the bigger bit, and it only went up to that 3/8 inch bit, where the 2 SDS versions went up to a 1/2 inch bit, it just was not as capable. That's where I really think that SDS attachment made a big difference. We saw about a 30% improvement on a bigger bit when going with the SDS version of this tool, and that makes it feel like this SDS attachment is worth it. If you do some concrete drilling but not a ton, I think it makes this model much more compelling, because you're able to add on the SDS for when you need it, but when you don't, you do just have a more compact tool, and you're still able to use all the nice features and versatility that come with it otherwise. If you need just a little more performance, or you're doing a more demanding task, the 8 amp hour really improved the performance of this even more. Just seeing a big improvement, and made it capable of doing a couple of more demanding drilling tasks that it failed in Speed 2. It was easily able to go through them in Speed 2 when using that larger 8 amp hour battery. I feel like Bosch's batteries in general are more compact, and so even though you're putting on the bigger 8 amp hour battery, it doesn't feel like you've got some big anchor down there. It almost feels more like a 5 amp hour battery, in my opinion, just in terms of size and what it does to the tool. All right, so then in the pros column, you're getting more power, more performance, a little bit reduction in size. You've got the increased versatility of the Flexiclick system. I think there's a lot of going right with this tool, but there are some cons, in my opinion. Now, they're not necessarily cons of what you're getting going from generation to generation, but just the platform in general. First and foremost, when I've reviewed the 18-volt version of this tool before, one of the common things that has been said about it is, why would I want to go with a bigger tool versus going with one of the 12-volt options? And so that is something that you do here. The size of this is going to be a disadvantage if what you're looking for is something truly compact. And this Bosch model is probably the most compact of all of these insulation drill drivers. If that's what you truly need, 12 volts probably still going to be the answer for you. I don't think you're necessarily going to find what you're looking for in the 18 volt. Now, the other con, in my opinion, is the fact that in North America, Bosch only sells this as a kit. I mentioned at the beginning, the standard price for this is $399. I had paid roughly $300 for my refurbished first generation, and so it just felt like a big waste when I already had batteries, I already had chargers, I already had all the things. All I needed was the drill body, and I still had to buy the full kit. In my opinion, that's a disservice to their users to not offer this as a tool-only version. And then lastly, it is just a more expensive tool. $399 US if you're paying the standard pricing for it. I think the standard pricing on the SDS attachment is $100 on top of that. So now you're talking about a $500 system. That's getting awfully close to the territory of some of the Festool stuff. And I'm not saying this is necessarily better or worse than the Festool. It's just a high price point that I know a lot of people are going to be unwilling to pay. That is where some little sliver of good news. Like I mentioned, I was able to get this for $50 off because of World of Concrete using a promo code through Acme Tools. But even today when I was filming, I noticed that you can get this version of the tool on sale for $319 on Amazon in that kit form. So now you're talking $80 off. The SDS attachment has also been on sale recently, going for as little as $80. So now you're talking about being able to get that full kit with the SDS for maybe the price that you'd get it for regularly. Those prices start to come down and make it a little more compelling. So overall, this new Flexiclick, solid improvement over the original one. Flexiclick in general, I think, is a platform that I think is underrated in terms of all the different things it can do, and just the stout build quality of it. I forgot to even mention this earlier, but if you take a look at the inside of these, they're just like solid metal, and it is just a feel of quality that you just don't find with a lot of tool companies. That's something that Bosch has always done well. If they can now do that well still and then start offering some more compelling options, I really think it makes them a very compelling tool brand choice, and it's something where they're starting to change my opinion, and I already liked them a fair bit, but now they're really starting to impress with some of these recent releases. So there you have it. There is the new Flexiclick model. Go ahead and let me know if you have questions down below. If you want to see this go up against anything else, leave that in the comments as well. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I put out new content. As always, thank you for all your support, and until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.